everyone! This week is all about magic and wizards. Did you know that Harry Potter's birthday is this week? It's July 31st. So in celebration, our crafts will be all Harry Potter tomorrow. But for today, we're going to focus on witches and wizards in our story time. We're going to start with a witch who wanted to be a princess. Bella was a witch, but Bella didn't want to be a witch. She wanted to be a princess. She wanted to live in a big castle and wear silk gowns and dainty slippers and a jeweled crown. But Bella was a witch, and she lived in a small cobwebby cottage and wore a long black cape and a big pointy shoes and a tall hat that didn't have any jewels on it. You would think a witch who graduated at the top of her class at the school for witches and wizards would be able to change herself into something plain and simple like a princess. But Bella couldn't. She could change bats into rats and rats into cats. That's how she got her favorite cat. But Bella couldn't change herself into a princess. Every time she tried, her hand went limp or sputtered. Once it even started to hiccup. Bella was puzzled. She checked her copy of 101's fail-safe spells and enchantments to make certain she hadn't forgotten anything. She hadn't. So she consulted her computer. Few witches use crystal balls anymore. After searching, Bella's computer flashed out this message. Due to sharply declining numbers, witches have been declared an endangered species by the Grand Wizard. No witch, not even you, Bella, is allowed to change yourself into anything, especially a princess. That's final. Have a nice day. Drat and buckets of eyes, Bella said. Now the only way for me to become a princess is to marry a prince. Not an icky one, of course, but a handsome one. I hope I haven't changed them all into frogs. They hadn't. There were still a few left. After weeks of scanning the personal ads in the Sunday paper, Bella found one that sounded promising. Handsome prince, heir to the throne of Stein, seeking beautiful damsel to wed. Good family background preferred. Interviews today, between 1 and 3. Bella read the ad again. No problem with a good family background. Her great-great-grandfather had been a grand wizard, and her grandmother had been the first ever doctor. But that beautiful damsel part could be a problem. Bella thought the big wart on the end of her nose made her more beautiful than she already was. But Bella realized a handsome prince might not think so. As she prepared, if she needed to, she would have to remove it with a dab of potent portion 13 wart remover. But before doing something that drastic, she decided to check with her magic mirror. Bella murmured, "Magic mirror, look at me. Do a beautiful damsel you see?" "Beauty is in the eye of the holder, mistress," it said. Bella nodded. "I agree." And gazing with admiration at her reflection, she said, "And since I, through my eyes, see myself as beautiful, then that is how I am. Beautiful. The wart stays, and I'm glad. I've grown quite attached to it. Thank you, magic mirror." "You are most welcome, O wise mistress," the magic mirror said. Pleased and confident, Bella climbed onto her jet-powered broomstick and took off for the kingdom of Stein. Heavy air traffic and strong headwinds delayed Bella's arrival. When she landed on the castle roof, it was already after 3. She raced down the stairs. "Drat and beakers of Beetlejuice, I hope I'm not late," she said, pushing past the servants. She was. The throne room door was closed and locked. No matter how hard she pulled, she couldn't get it open. Bella was beside herself. She didn't know what to do until she saw the keyhole and she peeked through. The handsome prince was interviewing the last of the beautiful damsels. She wasn't too late if she could just get in. But how? Then Bella saw the open window. She clicked her big pointy shoes together 3 times and a small rocket popped out of each heel. Bella murmured, "Blast off quickly, do as I say, to that window right away." Unfortunately, when Bella reached the open window, she was going so fast that she slipped and fell and went tumbling head over heels to the floor below, landing flop, kerplop, in a heap at the handsome prince's feet. "How clever to enter through the window, beautiful damsel. I am Prince Franklin of Stein," the handsome prince said, bowing low. "And I am Witch Bella," Bella said, pleased that the handsome prince saw her as both clever and beautiful. Prince Franklin helped Bella up, and their eyes met. Sparks flew, lightning flashed. It was love at first sight. Prince Franklin couldn't take his eyes off of Bella. He knew they were made for each other. He got down on one knee and asked her to marry him. Bella couldn't take her eyes off of Prince Franklin. She knew they were made for each other. "I will marry you," Bella said, giving Princess Franklin her hand. Aww. Everyone in the kingdom was invited to the wedding, and they all came. The food was free, and there was lots of it. So the castle's main throne room was packed. But Prince Franklin and Princess Bella didn't even notice. They only had eyes for each other. "You're so beautiful, my beautiful princess," said Prince Franklin, gazing at his bride. "You're so handsome, my handsome prince," said Princess Bella, gazing at her new husband. And that is the story of how Bella the witch became a princess. Just married. Good job, you guys. All right, let's move on to our second book about wizards and witches. This one's just about witches. It's called City Witch Country Switch. Mitzi was a city witch who came home late one night and saw her window wide open. Had she left the light on? Soon she found another witch had landed in her room. "It's me, your cousin Muffletump," her guest squealed. "Wow, nice broom." "Muffletump, the country witch? At last we finally meet." The cousins hugged and talked until the two of them were beat. That night, poor Muffletop tossed and turned. The couch was much too soft. The street outside was noisy, and she missed her cozy loft. Remembering a magic spell to help her fall asleep, she chanted, "Twinkly winkly," and then the room filled up with sheep. In the morning, Mitzi planned to show her guest around. "What dirty air," groaned Muffletump. "It's rising from the ground." She coughed, she sneezed, she chanted, "Pink-a-dink-a-dandy." And suddenly the dirty smoke turned into cotton candy. The cousins took a bus uptown to the Museum of Art. "There's hardly room to breathe in here," said Muffletump. "Straw cart." The bus became a hayride with seats for everyone. "Giddy up," whooped Muffletump. "I knew that this was fun." "Let's go skating," Mitzi said. But Muffletump said, "No, I've had a lot of fun with you, but now I've got to go." "Bye-bye, noise and smog," she called. "The country is for me." "Wait," yelled Mitzi, "I'll come too." And her cousin whooped, "Woo-hee!" Sneaker, snizzle, dragon-roo, burgerific, hoops-a-doo. They whizzed above the windy sea as storm clouds settled in. Muffletump yelled, "Ding-dong," while Mitzi shouted, "Din." These ancient words were all it took to change the clouds to bells. After that, they both took turns casting their favorite spells. When they landed, Mitzi asked, "You live up in a tree?" "I sure do," bragged Muffletump. "Come in and I'll brew some tea." This time, Mitzi couldn't sleep. It rained right through the roof. Night owls hooted, crickets sang, and Mitzi cried, "Drip-proof!" Now, pitter-patter went the rain, but Mitzi stayed quite dry, for a giant pink umbrella soared high above them in the sky. The next day, "Let's catch some fish," said Muffletump, "and then we'll take a swim." Mitzi gasped, "Is this all that slime?" Mitzi stripped down to her suit and jumped in from the pass, for now the pond was bubbly and perfect for a bath. Muffletump showed Mitzi what to pick for pumpkin stew, but Mitzi's only comment was, "Achoo, achoo, achoo! My allergies are acting up," she said. The field filled up with pizza. That was Mitzi's kind of feast. "Let's play tag," said Muffletump, but Mitzi shook her head. "You were great, but weeds and dirt are just not my style," she said. "I'll miss you, Mitz," said Muffletump. Mitz said, "Me too." The witches went their separate ways. What else could they do? That evening, both cousins lay awake. They tossed and turned all night. Their homes just didn't feel the same. What spell could set them right? As if they read each other's minds, they chanted, "Far no more!" When morning came, they waved hello, 'cause now they lived next door. "Howdy, neighbor," Mitzi said. Muffletump just smiled. They had a tasty snack together, city country style. Excellent, you guys. For our last book, I wonder, when you think of witches and wizards, do you think of bats and lizards? Me too. So let's read a book about bats. And they're at my favorite place in the whole world, the library. Another eeky evening is here. The air is cool and calm and clear. We feasted, fluttered, swooped and soared, and yet we're still a little bored. All this sameness leaves us blue and makes us ache for something new. Then word spreads quickly from afar. A window has been left ajar. Can it be true? Oh, can it be? Yes! Bat night at the library! The sky is lively as we race together toward our favorite place. Eager wings beat autumn air. Look, that's it! We're almost there! Then squeezed together, wing to wing, we rocket through the opening. We've waited for this night all year, but this is it at last! It's here! For most old bats, this isn't new. They've got lots of things to do. They flutter off and lose themselves among the books lined up on the shelves. Other bats in munchy moods will study guides to fancy foods, or hang out by a lamp instead to talk about the books they've read. But little bats will have to learn the reason that we must return. The ones who haven't come before have no idea what's in store. Some of them will drift away and figure out a game to play, like shaping shadows on the wall or wingtip tag around the hall. The big box is lots of fun, blasting brighter than the sun. Instead of copying books from shelves, they duplicate themselves. Doesn't matter where you look, there's nothing like a pop-up book. The fountain's water's nice and cold and makes a splash swimming pool. Keep it down, you must behave. The library is not your cave. It's hard to settle down and read when life flits by at dizzy speed. But story time is just the thing to rest a play-exhausted wing. And if we listen, we will hear some distant voices drawing near. Louder, louder, louder still, they coax and pull us in until everyone, old bat or pup, has been completely swallowed up and lives inside a book instead of simply hearing something read. Wow, look, goodnight sun, the nutcracker. Breathless, lost within the tale, no one sees the sky grow pale. What is that light? A lamp? The moon? Our bookish feast can't end so soon. It feels as though we've just begun, but now we leave our books half done. Through the window into the sky, it's much too late, we've got to fly. But maybe a librarian will give us bats this chance again and leave a window open wide to let us share the world inside. For now we'll dream of the things we've read, a universe inside each head. Every evening, one and all, we'll listen for that late night call. Can it be true? Oh, can it be? Yes, it's finally bat night at the library. Lucky for you, you don't have to wait for once a year. You can come in any time with your library card. You can request books and we'll bring them to you. I'm so excited you joined me today. Don't forget, tomorrow's craft is Harry Potter. Please come in if you need to pick up supplies. You can always call the front desk and pick them up curbside along with your books. Have a great day.